She used to be an actress.
She ever do anything I saw?
I think her biggest deal was she starred in a pilot.
What's a pilot?
Well, you know the shows on TV?
I don't watch TV.
Yes, but you're aware that there's an invention called television, and on that invention they show shows?
Yeah.
Well, the way they pick the shows on TV is they make one show, and that show is called a pilot. And then they show that one show to the people who pick shows, and on the strength of that one show, they decide if they want to make more shows. Some get accepted and become TV programs, and some don't become nothing. She started one of the ones that became nothing.
You're a master at that. You've got it squared away perfect.
It's different depending on who reads it. I mean, when you and I do it, it's fine, but it's a crapshoot when we have idiot guests on. Welcome to Couch Pilots, all of my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, and with me as always is the one who soars high. And with me as always is my helping can. It's Captain Philip Ressisher.
I knew you were going to do that.
Did you?
Yeah, that's why I just wrote it down and left it, because
Okay.
I knew you were going to do it.
I had the one who soars high because we're talking about a pilot today called Condor, but then right before we started talking, we had a new phrase pop up.
Yeah, which you invented, and you just couldn't let me have it, and so you were afraid I was going to waste it and not use it.
We can use it over and over, or we can edit this out. I mean, I came up with One Stop Shop. I came up with You Know What to Do Tube.
Right. No, that's part of your charm is you can come up with sayings.
And then tonight I came up with the phrase helping can.
Which is great. It's great.
What is helping can?
Helping can is a can of beer.
Yeah.
And
a helping can.
It helps you through your problems, whether they are tasks that need to be done,
right,
or
emotions that need to be squashed.
And because okay, all right, fuck it. So
fuck it, man.
I told you. I said my
fuck it, man.
My New Year's resolution that started in the middle of 2020, because what's the point of waiting? Is
time is a construct.
Is just bury every emotion you have.
Marry and bury that shit.
Marry and bury that
Halle
shit.
Berry that shit.
Barry Como that shit. But no, so yeah. And do you need to do it every day? Yes.
The getting a helping can?
Yes. You have to do it every day, because if you don't, those feelings will submerge. Right? Yeah.
It's like we don't have the cure for the common cold
or coronavirus,
but we can cure symptoms.
Sure.
And so that's what we're doing. We're keeping the emotions, which is when we gather too many negative emotions, we get depressed. So we're squashing the symptoms,
sure,
and not the actual problem.
And just like every medicine that squashes symptoms, it causes other symptoms,
right? Like
diarrhea,
diarrhea. That's right.
Unstable verbal ability, motor skills.
That's right. The inability to conjure a sentence.
The inability to get a penis hard.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
the helping can.
Hang with me for a while, and you'll see how much it is involved before that.
Well, I tell you, the only time I ever have a problem getting erect is when I'm not attracted to somebody. Sometimes that really is a problem for me.
For you? What do you think the average amount of sex a regular person, single or married, you got to divide them. You can't divide them. You got to just round it. A bell curve. Mm-hmm. What do you think the right amount of sex, or the average amount of sex, is for a 30-day period for a normal person?
So is this person in a relationship?
Well, yeah, we'll just say yes.
Okay, so they could be either in we'll say
married, monogamous, swingers.
We'll say it's a long time. Like they've been together for 3 to 10 years, somewhere in there. The average amount of sex, I would say, in a month period, I would say 3 to 4 times in a month.
Okay.
I would say, roughly a week or so, once a week.
Once a week? Okay.
Yeah, roughly.
All right.
7 to 10 days.
All right.
That's my guess. Is that?
No, there's no right or wrong answer, Jason. I don't ask questions that have right or wrong answers.
I just want to know if you approve. I'm constantly looking for approval, and I don't usually look towards the helping can.
Really? You're looking at the wrong person, because I'm busy doing that as well. I can't give you approval when I'm looking for it.
In a codependent relationship is what this is.
Is it really codependent? I mean, I'm pretty dependent on you. I mean, you're not really dependent on me.
I meant coat dependent. What did I say?
Oh, you said coat.
Because I remember last year how during Coats for Kids,
Sure.
you took all those coats, and I was like, God damn, you're coat dependent.
Yeah.
I used to work with this lady, and I won't say who she is, but she was getting on in age, north of 50, and she was a woman, and I'm a fella, and then there's another girl that worked there that I was friends with, and then she would have woman talk with this.
Sure.
And the
Stay
lady,
away from that. That's like poison oak.
give it a wide berth. It is toxic. So this one time, the younger lady, she came up to me and she said, "Do you know that the lady, the manager lady, hasn't had sex with her husband in over a year?" And I was like, I mean, not only did I not know that, I would never want to know that about that person. But it turns out that's the case.
How does that happen? Like, how does that happen?
I don't know.
Me neither.
I think with a fella, sometimes he just wants to have sex. He can do it. But I think a woman, after a while, there's certain like just insecurities, and I think women get a little nuttier as they get older because they feel like they're not as attractive. Yeah, when the people when they get menopausal. No, when women get past the point of where they don't think people want to fuck them anymore, they start to go nuts. But a beautiful woman with a beautiful personality is always going to find a mate.
Right.
You know? That's what I think.
But, yeah, and a guy can separate. Like a guy can. Sex is an act. Mm-hmm. Sex doesn't necessarily have to have emotion. It doesn't have to have feelings. It's an act that we as men who came from Adam and Eve, or just Adam, basically.
Not Adam and Steve. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, you know, nothing wrong with that though. It's something that you do. It's like let's say a cat. Mm-hmm. All right, if you have a cat,
a feline,
it's instinctively going to look for mice and bring them and kill them and bring them to the doorstep.
That cat didn't go to mouse killing school. It's in its DNA.
Yep. And I think our DNA, I think this is a God's cruel joke, but our DNA for men and how we interpret and handle sex is completely different.
Yeah.
180 and 90 degrees different than how a woman deals with and processes sex.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Why?
It's a cruel joke.
Why not just make it? Why didn't he just make them both the same DNA?
I don't know the answer to that, but I tell you what. For this past weekend, I went to St. Louis. All right, and I was with my daughter and my dumb girl.
Don't call her daughter.
I'm sorry. I was with Lorelai and my dumb girlfriend, and she was like, I've driven past it plenty, even with you, but I've never been to the St. Louis Arch. So we go down there, and I say, do you want to go up to the top of the arch? And she says, no, I'm an insane person. I can't be in small, tight places. I'm afraid of heights. But I said, all right, well, at least let's go touch the arch. And then underneath it is like a whole museum of stuff. It's like, all right, well, let's go do that. So we did it, and I think she enjoyed it. But while we were down in the museum, it was all this, there were native lands here. And then, St. Louis, it's French, right? So, thank you. So it had all these stories about these French settlers and how they built up the area, and just like a lot of horror stories about what happened to the indigenous people here,
which is not uncommon for every place in the whole United States.
That's not the United States, the world. Everywhere. Yeah. That's exactly what I said to her. She was like, "This, it's so depressing." I was like, "Well, nobody is standing here without tens of thousands of years of pillaging and capital R on raping. Mm-hmm. Animals everywhere rape each other all the time, every day, everywhere, forever. And human beings, only maybe in the past 500 to 700 years, have stopped doing that because of society and civilization.
Well, but have they stopped? No,
not completely. But like when you're a caveman, remember the old caveman cartoons where he clubs a woman and he drags her back? What do you think he's doing when he drags her back to the cage?
I miss those days.
He's fucking her asshole. That's what he's doing. So like that's what
club a girl, pick a hole is what I always say.
I thought that was save a horse, ride a cowboy.
My fault, Big and Rich. I apologize.
But that's what I told her. I was like, yeah, you can feel bad. It obviously is not good, But that's everywhere all the time since we crawled out of the primordial ooze. It's just a big rape fest, right?
Well, you can look at anywhere in the world, and if you're powerful, if you have money, if you have force, you can pretty much do whatever you want. And over the centuries, that has taken different forms.
Yeah.
And so people a lot of times are very shocked that even today, that like, oh my God, and I'm not saying this is a right. I'm giving the example of
corruption of power.
Evolution is Epstein. He had all these people he knew, and he lured these young girls. It's not right.
No,
but it's not anything different than what the Pilgrims came in and said, hey, how do you fucking grow corn? Okay, thanks for telling me. Now you're fucking dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
manifest destiny tells me you're dead now.
Yeah. And so is it right? No. Are there a lot of things that aren't right? Yes. But are there a lot of things that are continuous throughout our evolution, no matter what we try to do? Yes.
Yeah, I would say as much as accessible as all news is now, and news for the most part is bad because that's what keeps people coming back. Despite all of that, they always say that this is the best and safest time in history, in recorded history, to live.
Right.
And it is.
But they're like, all these kids getting abducted, they didn't happen in the 40s and 50s. Oh, yes, it did.
It always happens.
It did every single fucking day.
We just know more about it, and because we know more about
there's
it,
television now, there's social media, and there's parents in 1936 that their fucking kid who was 7 years old came up fucking missing one day. It's because somebody drove by in a fucking wagon, snatched their asses up.
Yeah. It happens.
It happens. Quit acting like today is any different than yesterday. That's a good lesson for today. Quit acting like today is any different than yesterday.
And just grab yourself a goddamn helping can. Am I right?
Helping can.
Jesus
Brought to you by...
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
And see, when I say that kind of stuff, my wife thinks I'm an insensitive asshole. But I'm a realist. First things first, I'm a realist.
And then second thing is respect for women, right?
Okay.
I thought we were doing...
I was going to say a decent bowler.
I thought we were doing Mates podcast. Maybe not. I just real quick to piggyback on what we said, I went to St. Louis this weekend. I stayed the night down there, which I usually don't do. I usually get up real early, go down, really pack it in. Really make it miserable for everyone I'm with by packing the shit in, doing a bunch of stuff, and coming home.
You're like,
really
come on.
Yeah.
We got to go to the Fudge Factory. Come on. We got to go to the aquarium. Come on.
The Fudge Factory? Do you remember that place down there?
Yeah, I remember it because they used to sing and they had the candy.
Have we talked about this before?
No.
Hit me with it. What do you remember? What was it called?
I don't remember what it was called.
It was called the Fudgery.
The Fudgery.
And where was it?
It was at Union Station.
Hell yes, it was.
And it was in the front.
Yes, it was.
And it was huge. It was wide open. It was huge. And these people were working, and they're flinging fudge.
Let's not call them people. They were black people.
Okay, they're flinging fudge.
Yeah.
They're making fudge, and they're singing, and they're interacting with... It was kind of like the fudge version of the fish place in Seattle.
Yeah, I would say you're right. Pike's Place.
Yeah,
but
when
you went, as have I think, when you were there, was it a bunch of black kids singing and dancing?
Yeah, no, yeah.
It was awesome, right?
Yeah.
That like not only are you getting it's because I called it like the Subway of fudge, where you get to see them make it, but I like your Pike's Place better because it's more interactive like that. But they'd make this fudge. There's a bunch of black kids singing and dancing. Like, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I remember one of the songs that they used to sing.
No, you do not.
Yes, I do. Oh, sing with me, oh, sing with me. You gotta make that fudge for the master. Make that fudge for the master.
I don't.
Standing in front of a hot stove. Standing in front of a hot stove for the master. The master.
I don't know that. I feel like that is not.
I remember stuff that you don't remember. It's possible.
I must sit here and tell you that I do not remember any of the songs, so I can't say for certain.
Oh, do you remember the other one, that like the more rockin' one they sang?
If you remember it, sing it, but I don't know.
We'll be packing it, packing it, packing it, the fudge. We'll be packing it, packing it, packing it, the fudge. Hey, boys, come up and pick out your fudge. You want to pack. And when it's crazy, but when I was there, I was really young.
Me too.
And so there wasn't any Adele. Adele was not a thing.
There wasn't any Adele?
No.
Okay.
But I remember one song that they used to sing.
Okay. So you prefaced by saying that there was no Adele there.
But when she came out, I was like, it triggered something. I was like, oh my God, this is a really good song. Where have I heard this style
So
from?
this is the third fudgery song that you remember.
Oh yeah, me and my mom used to stand in front of there for hours
So
because we didn't have enough money to go into any of the shops or anything.
So after about an hour or so, you'd hear the same songs again, and you kept hearing it all day. Okay, what's this song? I assume in the I'm giving you as much time as possible.
Sure. No, I don't need time.
Please go ahead then.
Well, I needed time to stop laughing.
What's your what is this third song that you remember from the fudgery?
I'll never find some more fudge like you. I tried to do an enema before you came. Please forgive me if I poop a little bit on your butt. But remember, I love you just the same.
You know, Adele just hosted SNL. I think that's why it's on the top of your mind. There's a sketch where she was singing some of her songs, a line or two. It was the Bachelor sketch. I assume you saw that, right?
Yep.
Adele's got some good songs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know what?
I like Adele.
I am a man. I'm a manly man. I do woodwork and stuff. I believe in punching people in the face.
Sure.
But I'm not going to lie. Mm-hmm. Even just hearing the snippets of the songs, it brings a tear to my eye. When she walked out into the crowd, it brought a tear. When I found out that she wasn't the musical guest and the host, I felt kind of ripped off, to be honest with you.
First of all, I teared up when she came out in the crowd too. High five it. Second of all, I'm on the subreddit for an SNL thing, and sometimes they'll be like, hey, I follow him on this social media, and it kind of tells you who's coming up as hosts. And she said the musical guest was her. Adele was on, and the musical guest was her. And I was like, oh, great, the musical guest is her. Yeah. It's not her at all. It's H period, E period, R period.
I didn't know who that was.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Probably you know what? She had aviator glasses on. Are you a pilot? No. Don't wear aviator glasses.
Take them off.
Thank you.
Okay, so I went to St. Louis, and first of all, Rolling in the Deep is a great song.
Okay.
That's, I think, her first real hit single in the States, and I that's one of those songs I hear for the first time. I'm like, oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
she's fucking good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, brah. So this is what happened. I go to St. Louis. We do an Airbnb at this apartment, and
is that weird during COVID?
It's
whatever.
I think we all know COVID's not real.
Okay.
So we go to this apartment, and it's 2 bedrooms, 2 bath, and then we have a poop protocol. So if someone has to number 2 it, we have a certain lockdown situation.
Did you discuss that prior to?
Yeah, I said we have to have a poop protocol. That means certain doors have to be closed, certain noises and fans have to be on, and we just have to have a certain noise level to make sure everyone's comfortable.
You must have had some kind of traumatic poop experience when you were young.
Oh yeah. Do
you remember what it was?
Yeah, I had just learned how to go to the bathroom, and then because I could go to the bathroom as a young child, I was taken to see Ronald McDonald on the riverfront by the Sears when it was still the Sears complex down there. Real weird, like trailer stage thing with a fake Ronald McDonald, and I had to use the bathroom there, and the porta potty fell over, and it was sideways, so I was like swimming in human filth.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of has forever just been like...
I would. I'm not a professional, but I would say for sure that probably had something to do with it.
I think that would scar anyone, but to have that happen to you on the day that you learned how to go to the bathroom, like in my mind, those things are forever connected.
Sure. You would think that you would have learned to poopy in the potty at home because that's a safe place, but...
I did.
But the same day you learned it, you're like, oh, I've got a new thing I've learned. Kind of like walking. Like, oh, like when a baby crawls, they want to just crawl everywhere. They don't care where they're going. Or when a baby learns to walk, they just want to walk everywhere.
Yeah. I just wanted to poop everywhere. And the only place to do that safely, and my mom thought, was this porta potty. Not the case at all.
R.I.P. porta potty.
So we had a poop protocol. But everyone was going to bed, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to engage the poop protocol. I'm going to take care of this right before I go to bed.
Now, do you have to announce it, or are you doing the protocol without announcing it?
I can do the protocol, but it's very obvious what I'm doing, so I just announce it.
Okay.
And then, so I get back into the bedroom after I'm done with the protocol, and she is wrapped up and looks like asleep. So I get in bed, and I fall asleep very quickly, and I'm a good sleeper. I'm laying there, and I'm in the twilight zone where I'm just about ready to go to sleep. And then I hear a noise, and I shake awake, and my girlfriend wakes up instantly too. Like, what was that? I was like, I don't know what that was. It's like, is it your phone? She says, no. I was like, it was probably your phone. She is convinced there was a ghost situation. I heard a voice talk, a female voice, and like kind of almost like an intercom kind of sound. Okay. And it sounded like it came about a foot or two from her. That's where her phone was. And I check my phone, nothing. I wake up, I go to my daughter's room. She's in there watching Netflix on her phone. I said, "Did you have your
out of body experience?
Did your Bluetooth, your AirPods? Did they disconnect for a second? There was a loud noise in here." And she says, "No." And my girlfriend says there was a ghost. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't know I don't know what that was though. Do you think it was surveillance? Are we being surveyed by the people who Airbnb'd us?
No, I think it probably was just some like a high frequency glitch with electricity. You have two phones, your daughter's watching Netflix, earbuds. There's a lot of electronics. I honestly don't think so.
Well, she just texted me before I came here. She said, "You should tell Blake about our ghost." I told my coworkers, and the general consensus was leave and demand a refund. And she works with a lot of black people, and she says, "Today I learned black people are very afraid of ghosts." And I said, "Thank you. I will talk about the ghost. Good idea." And she says, "Also, Miko accidentally called me the N-word today."
Wow.
And she says, he immediately said, "Sorry, bro. I was so shocked," and laughed and clucked.
Is Miko gay?
No, he's this tiny little black guy that works on her line.
Okay.
Like she's a receiving manager.
Sure.
And he's on.
I bet she is.
What is that supposed to mean? What the fuck did you just say?
She receives the
Can't
dick.
do it.
Okay. That was
Can't
wrong.
do it.
I went too far. You know what? I'm not going to say there are ghosts. I'm not going to say they're not ghosts. I think this is a perfect example, and you can texture this back. It's a perfect example of women making a big thing out of nothing. Did she feel a cold chill? Did she get moved in her bed? Did her bed move? No. It's just a fucking sound.
She wasn't really freaked out about it. I was more weirded out by it than she was. And she said she heard a tapping on the window, which I didn't hear that. We were 5 stories up, and then we looked out, and there's no balcony, just straight down.
There was no tapping. Did you check, make sure the branches weren't really close?
Well, there's no branches. It was like a street and then a parking garage right next to us. But when she started saying that shit, I slapped her, and she went back to bed.
Nice. High five that shit.
Today we discussed the pilot episode of Condor from the year of our Lord 1985. Great year.
Great year. 1985? Not 86?
1986.
Do you have 1985 or 1986?
I don't know.
All right. Well, it depends on what age I was. I was either 10 or 11, and you
86.
I was 11, and you were 5.
Right.
You 5 years old.
I was 5.
What's that? Arrogant stare with as you hard click your.
I was just changing some buttons in here.
Oh.
Let's go back to 1985.
In our minds.
Oh, yeah.
We do that so we can properly judge Condor based on the release date of 1986 because good Lord knows it's not 1986 now.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. 2020 and 1986 is a big difference. I mean, again, I said it earlier, in 1986, I didn't have Adele. No way.
But did you know that, dude, you were getting one?
Yeah.
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 I don't even know if she was born then.
Probably not.
Was she even 30? She might be like 32.
Well, you know, she was 19, then she was 21, then she was 25.
But there were ages between those.
Betwixt.
Right.
Yeah. So I'd say she's 35 by now because she hasn't made a record in a long time, maybe 10 years.
I think it's got one coming out soon, maybe? I don't know.
It's not done yet.
But we talk about things that happened in 86 because, you know, we have to judge this pilot and be fair to it because there's a lot of things that we have today and ways that we can make films and TV shows today that it wasn't available back then. So we have to give it a fair shake.
Yeah, there was no CGI in 1986.
Computer graphics eye.
Right. There was no AI, which is
Artificial eye.
right. And ladies, you can fact check me, but we did not have tampons with wings in 1986 for sure.
Yeah. There's something like an ostrich can't fly, but it has wings, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing as ostriches and tampons, right? Neither can fly.
Yeah. You know, that's a good bar trivia to make some money. You know, what are two things that have wings and can't fly?
Tampons and ostriches. I tell you what, I'd probably need a few helping cans to get to that conclusion. What happened in 1986? You say, well, November 18th, Calvin and Hobbes comic strip debuts. Are you familiar? You're familiar with that,
Yeah, it's
right?
Little Boy and the Tiger.
Do you have a favorite? Were you an avid reader?
I wasn't an avid reader. I've read some before, some maybe sentimental ones.
Yeah.
So.
Him and Gary Larson. You know Gary Larson, The Far Side?
Okay.
Like, neither of those guys, I think they kind of did their shit and they shut it down. There's been no Calvin and Hobbes movie.
They probably didn't sell They didn't sell out. Basically, yeah.
There's Calvin pissing on a lot of things, right? On the back of you like that?
Yeah, piss on that Cub logo. Am I
Do
right?
you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're watching.
I got one that's. I got one in my car. It's Calvin pissing on a 10-pin.
Oh, because F it, right?
Yeah, fuck the 10-pin.
You ever see the movie Hot Rod?
Parts of it.
The guy, what's that guy? Shit. I can't remember his name. Oh, Chris Parnell. He has a small role in it. And at one point, he lifts up his shirt and shows the Hot Rod gang that he's got a Calvin tattooed on his chest. And he's peeing, but he's peeing on two different things. Because he does AM radio. So he's pissing on like FM radio and maybe like satellite radio or something.
Okay.
Because he likes AM radio.
Right.
And they're like, how does he have two different pee streams? It should be just one stream. And he says, I like to think that he had sex the night before, and there's some residue on his penis that has divided the stream.
Crusty cum.
Yeah.
You ever had crusty cum? It has happened to me before, where I've had sex and there's been a little amount of time, and then I went to go pee, and there was two streams. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a sprinkler head on your real head.
It crystallizes really quick.
It does. Yeah.
That's why I always say, put it in your mouth, because this is going to crystallize.
November 20th, Microsoft Corporation releases the first version of Windows.
Wow.
Windows 1.0.
Man, that's crazy. That's so long ago. We can do, like, no, if you would have shown somebody a cell phone like we have now, if you would have handed that to somebody, their fucking mind would have been blown.
They would have gone out of their way to kill themselves.
Right.
They would have maybe never had the thought in their mind in their life to kill themselves. If they saw that, they would kill themselves.
It's like, here, this computer, it takes up about half of a room.
Yeah.
Guess what? Everybody in the fucking world is going to have one in their pocket.
And like, Jesus Christ, how big are people going to be in the future? It's like the same size as now.
Same size, maybe, well, a little bit bigger.
Pack of cigarettes, that's
a little
what
bit
it's
bigger.
Like. Well, maybe slightly bigger. Some of
Not
us
so many
anyway.
fatties back then.
You're right. Well, even in the movie that we watched today, it looked like anytime there's a computer screen, it was like a lot of DOS. So if this came out when the same time that the pilot that we talked about came out, then the pilot was obviously made a little bit before this. And so you're using old school computer shit, but how revolutionary and navigable does Windows make working on your own personal computer?
We had no idea at the time that folders were going to be so important to the rest of our lives.
Love them.
You have a folder inside of a folder?
Oh, yeah. For this show.
Do you? Really?
Oh, my God. Because
What's the main folder?
The main folder is podcasts.
Okay.
And then inside that, it's all the different podcasts that I've been a part of and worked with and like helped create stuff for. And then so you got Couch Pilots in there.
Right.
And then there you have show notes. And then in the same folder there, you also have a template for the show notes that I use. And in the show notes, you click on that, and it's 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And then you click in the year, and then it breaks another folder in there. And each folder in there is the record date. And then in the record date are the 2 episodes we do.
Jesus, you are OCD so severely.
It just makes it easy to find.
Oh, no, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I've got folders on folders, my friend. I'm a fold and fool. November 26th, U.S. President Ronald Reagan sells his rights to his autobiography to Random House for a record $3 million.
I wish I had $3 million.
I wish you did too, because I'm sure you would let me borrow some. It's funny that Donald Trump, he's like, I have $1 billion. But he's like, in the debates, he's been giving Joe Biden shit about having money.
Right, yeah.
Well, it's like, Joe Biden, I mean, he was the vice president, and he's asked to speak at a lot of shit, and he gets
Sure.
paid for that.
Right.
And he gets paid to write a book. Fucking in 86, Reagan got $3 million. So that means, I think Joe Biden's worth maybe a little over $3 million. But shouldn't Biden have been paid like $10 million for his right?
Yeah.
Like, of course he's got fucking money. He was the vice president,
Right.
under the first black president. Of course he has money.
Sure.
Get the fuck out of town.
And that's what, we were talking about that the other night at the bar. Yeah, there was a lot of political talk, which I try to stay out of. But one of the things was, these politicians, they shouldn't be in there for as long because they get corrupt. They shouldn't be in there for, they should only have a certain amount of times they can be in. And then they're like, well, when they get out, they make even more money, by being a lobbyist or being doing speeches or
the smart
appearances.
ones know how to work the system for sure.
So,
yeah, did you already? By the time this came out, we will probably have an idea of who the president is. By the way, who do you think it's going to be?
I would rather, we would know. We would know for sure.
Five
days ago.
Remember when it was Al Gore versus George Bush Jr., little Georgie B, and then the whole debacle with the Chads
that's true.
in Florida. But we'll probably know.
Right.
Who will it be?
I don't like. There's three things I don't like to talk about. I don't like to talk about politics.
Yeah.
I don't talk.
Religion.
No religion, and I'm not talking about her.
Oh, I thought we were going to say cops.
Well, we were going to say cops, but
the musical guest for Saturday Night Live.
Her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and guess who you think it's going to be?
Well, I think.
Let's say it on the count of three together. Ready?
Okay. One.
Three.
Oh, wait. Are we saying 3, 2, 1, say it?
Yes.
Or 3, 2, say it?
No, 3, 2, 1, say it.
Okay.
3, 2, 1,
Trump. You say Brump? So you think there's going to be a third-party candidate whose last name happens to rhyme with the current president that's going to come out of nowhere in the last minute and secure the presidency?
Yep.
Whew.
I just can't say that word, and I hate that I did. Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
And we won't go any further than this. Was who you said was going to be president based on who you want to be president? 3, 2, 1. No.
Bro. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought there was going to be a third choice between yes or no that would come at the last second and win.
Well, this ain't Joe Diffie. It's either yes or no.
I voted already.
Check once or no.
I voted through the mail, and I voted for Biden.
Okay.
If for no other reason that Trump is just like he's embarrassing.
Yeah.
He embarrasses me.
Sure.
Like there was already a pretty big stigma about being from America. I was like, let's go to Europe, but we'll tell people we're from Canada.
Yeah.
But it's like Donald Trump is fucking embarrassing.
Right.
The shit that he does is unreal. I'm not a huge Biden guy, but I don't mind him. I would, like I said, give me Sanders, give me Wang, give me that Andrew Wang.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, we're in a situation now where the world or the country has given us, okay, you either have black licorice,
Yeah.
or Raisinets.
Both highly desirable candies.
No.
What?
That's opposite.
I actually do like Raisinets. But I understand your point. Black licorice, I don't know.
Okay, here. You either have black licorice
Oh, yuck.
or pickled eggs.
That doesn't sound bad. I'd eat a pickled egg. I mean,
Okay, ready?
okay, yeah.
You either have black licorice,
Gross. Mm-mm.
or blue waffle.
Not a blueberry waffle.
No, blue waffle.
Those are
Google it.
those are both gross.
Right.
What is the blue
But
waffle?
would you-
Is it something to do with an old man?
It's a gross vagina. It's all
Like
it's all
infected?
beat up and infected.
Like
So
yeasty?
So I'll take the black licorice because I don't like it, but I really don't like blue waffle.
Yeah.
Google a picture of it.
I won't do that.
Do you mean a hashtag blue waffle?
No. Well, I mean, if you think it'll help the show. Why did we choose to watch Condor?
3 simple criteria. We're going best to basics.
Yeah. Brump.
3 simple criteria.
Helping can.
The pillars of Couch Pilots.
Yeah.
A, it was a pilot episode that never went to series. Whether it aired or not is irrelevant.
Right.
Number 2, we had to find it on the internet. And 3, it had to be free.
Yeah, that's it. So you're probably asking yourself, where can I find the entire episode of Condor? You can do so by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then go to your
Roku.
simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to Amazon Prime and have yourself
a good time.
An Amazon time. Good time.
Flight attendants.
Is this our first Amazon Prime or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there are other things that could have been found on there, but this is the only place that I found.
I was worried because I was like, did Molly pay the bill for that? It comes out of her account. I'm like,
Yeah, I don't know. But
if you don't have an Amazon Prime, go ahead and email
couchpilotspodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, and we'll send you
our login information, right?
Yeah, that we got from Kevin.
Mm-hmm. Also, too, like most people
speaking
have
of that.
Yeah, speaking of that,
So
real quick.
so last night, or 3 days ago, my brother goes, "Hey, are you gonna watch Hell in a Cell?" And I was like, "Probably not. My wife just had major dental surgery and is not doing well."
Was that on last night?
Yeah, and then so yesterday he goes, "Hey, are you sure you're not watching it? Oh, how's Molly doing?" Mm-hmm. And I go, "No, I'm not watching it, and she's not doing great." And then he goes, "Man, this is one of those times I wish Kevin would have gave me his password." I'm like, "You're a fucking idiot, right? You had 3 chances to be sympathetic to my wife,
Okay.
and you didn't acknowledge that. But you were very sympathetic to yourself that Kevin never gave you."
Look, he's a 50-year-old man who wants to watch professional wrestling. Okay. I
fell asleep during it.
Is he still with his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Have you met her?
Oh yeah. No, I when they started dating the first time.
You've already fucked her.
No. I have standards. No, seriously, I will swear on the Bible. We were living together when they started dating, and that's why we stopped living together, is because they decided to move in together, and he just hey, I'm not going to live here anymore.
What?
Yeah.
Who is living together?
Me and my brother. We've only lived together twice in our whole lives, and it's been as adults.
Okay.
And this was the first time. We lived in Georgetown Apartments in Washington.
Okay. Right before Molly.
No. This is way before Molly.
Okay, so I remember one time before we started doing the podcast, I ran into you at the Washington Walmart. So I assumed it was when you lived there. But what does you and him living together have to do with his current girlfriend?
Well, I was just setting the stage. Me and my brother were living together. For the first time we were living together outside as adults. Mm-hmm. And one morning I woke up and she was there. And then they started dating, and that's why, so this is many, many years.
So they're on again, off again.
They were on for a long time, off for a very long time, and I wish they wouldn't have got on again, but they're on again.
You don't like her?
It's not that I don't like her. I don't like the situation that ended it, and I'm like, if I was a person who had that happen to me, I would never speak to that person again.
Did she burn your brother rectally with a curling iron?
No, she cheated on him and then left him with $20,000 worth of debt.
Oh, that's a big whammy. Holy God.
2 whammies. That's 2 whammies.
She's got to be a good-looking girl.
No. God damn it.
Okay. Well,
No!
I'm going to propose something, and this would have to
I've
be
introduced him to 17 girls that are better looking than her.
Any 17-year-old
girls? Passed.
Okay, here's I'm going to say something now, and I'm going to be right. Your brother is pathetic and lonely.
Yes.
Okay, that had to be it.
Oh yeah.
Oh mercy! I've learned, Chad. I'm not going to get you in debt no more. All right,
I'm not the same person I was 15 years ago. Thanks for getting yourself out of debt.
Yeah, no shit. Good Lord.
It took him 2.5 years of working 80 hours a week to get out of that. Fuck. There's two things I don't tolerate in a woman. Mm-hmm. 1, a cheater. Number 2, some bitch that puts me in debt.
Oh, but debt. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one too.
What debt?
Ladette?
Yeah.
Is that like Adele?
Well, it's like Adele, but it's the French word for debt.
Summary of the pilot. A hard-boiled special police agent prejudiced towards robots and his beautiful new female android partner hunt his nemesis, an escaped female terrorist known as Black Widow in the noir future of 1999.
Fact.
Now that's summary of the pilot.
Oh. It was a little long, but I mean, this is a long pilot, so I'll give it a B+.
There's one whole sentence, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Interesting Facts. This is the part of the show where Jason has scoured the internet while watching squirrels out his window to find you facts about this show that you may not know. Please don't taint someone else's experience. Don't comment on the facts. Just accept them, understand them, and remember, back in the day, there was a thing called the Conrad Rule, and we're doing it today. Don't talk about it. Don't taint someone else's experience.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
I feel like I should give you less buttons,
Hold on.
but you want more.
I always want more.
That's the problem with men, right? Like, let's just say,
It's a problem with men.
yeah, it's never enough.
Well, what
Money, sex, power.
This is what I envision for the studio.
Envision?
This is what I envision for it.
Get envision with it?
I want a bunch of like cords
Yes!
coming down
Yeah.
from the ceiling,
Yes.
and
We could do that in a day.
like giant iPad Pros hanging in front of me, and I just want a little window where I can see your face, so I know what you're thinking and how you're reacting, and then I can press all the buttons, and then I have one laptop in front of me with all the show notes, and then just a variety, hundreds of sound effects. I can just press it on my whim like this.
You don't know what hard times
It's
are.
funny you say that because
Times are, Daddy.
within the past 7 days, I spent 35 minutes watching a YouTube video where this couple took apart a TV screen so they could make basically a screen,
A giant iPad?
that you could see from both. You could see both through it.
But wasn't it be backwards? Isn't someone seeing it backwards?
No. Well, I mean, yes, but no. But I spent. Am I going to do that? No. Do I want to do that? No. But I watched it for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, why not, right? It's available to be seen. Someone created that content to be seen by you.
Just like this pilot.
Interesting facts. The device used to reprogram the guard robot at the beginning of the program is clearly a reused PKE meter, psychokinetic energy meter, from Ghostbusters. Fact.
That's a fact.
You ever see Ghostbusters?
A long time ago.
Do you remember?
I just remember the sex scene.
You remember
The ghost sex scene.
where that ghost blew Dan Aykroyd? That one?
No, it was the one with the girl. The ghost having sex with the girl.
The bar Ray Wise goes into, Torchies, was used in several of action director Walter Hill's movies, including The Driver, Brewster's Millions, Streets of Fire, and is best remembered in 48 Hours as the redneck bar Eddie Murphy busts up. You okay? What was that? You okay?
That's my Eddie Murphy imitation.
Oh,
He must have had stock in that.
Stock in Torchies?
Or he owned it or something.
Yeah, maybe so. But it was used for all those things. I don't know what The Driver is. I've heard of Brewster's Millions.
Yeah. Well, that was with Eddie Murphy too, right? And
No, it's Richard Pryor. Do all black people look the same to you?
no,
You can be honest.
No, Richard.
Hold
Pryor.
on, I'll stop. I'm going to press the button to stop recording. All right, do all black people look the same to you?
No, look very different.
Stars the aforementioned Ray Wise as Christopher Proctor. You may know him from Twin Peaks, Good Night and Good Luck, and Fresh Off the Boat.
Oh, he was the neighbor. He was in Fresh Off the Boat. I do. He was but I wonder, was he in Eddie and the Cruisers? I'm wondering if he was in Eddie the Cruisers.
Let's look it up. Here, we'll put some songs on while I'm...
Well, we don't have to do it right.
Yeah, why not?
Well, we don't have time. We have stuff going on. There's stuff going on.
I accidentally put in Rat Rise.
Rat Rise?
It's Ray Wise. Eddie and the Cruisers. When did that come out, you think?
Oh, God, that was probably 81, 89, 86, 87.
So 6-7 year time period.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take
Dark side's coming now, nothing is real. She'll never know just how I feel. Out of the shadow, she walks like a dream.
Who do you think he was in Eddie and the Cruisers?
I don't remember. She made me feel crazy, made me feel so mean. No, he wasn't. It's fine.
No, but he was Leon in RoboCop.
I never saw it. I've seen it. This is a character actor that you've seen 1,000 times.
Oh yeah. I know him mainly from Twin Peaks, and then also I think he was in Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie.
Okay.
He ran a store where his children would diarrhea into a big tub.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Also stars James Avery as Cass. You may know him as Shredder, the voice of Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Uncle Phil from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Fact and of interesting facts.
Thank you. Good job.
Twitter responses.
Twitter responses. I wonder if Jason got some Twitter responses.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got one, and it's pretty good. Anytime we watch a pilot, I send some tweets out. I say, hey, we're couch pilots. We talk about TV shows that had only one episode. Next up for us is Condor. We're excited and looking forward to watching it. We're wondering if there's anything fun or interesting you'd want to share. Thanks. We hope to hear from you. And one fella, I had sent a bunch out. One fella who got back to me, not really back to me. He followed me. And this is the new thing. I'm very dumb when it comes to social media, but when I send these Twitter responses out and I send them to someone and that person starts to follow us, I automatically follow them back right away. And I do that believing and in the hopes of that they are going to direct message me.
They're just trying to get more followers.
Well, but I also think that they're trying to direct message, like they could set up an avenue to which direct message. And such is the case with Gene Bicknell.
What's his Twitter handle?
His Twitter handle, boy, that's a great question. Let's pull that up. It is, come on, Gene. He's at Gene Bicknell, GeneBicknell.
Really?
What?
You said it so fast I can't write it down.
You know what? I wouldn't worry about it. So he followed me. I followed him back, and as soon as I followed him back, I sent him a direct message. I said, "Hello, Mr. Bicknell. I know Condor was over 35 years ago, but I was wondering if you had any memories of your or thoughts of your experiences you'd like to share." And I said, "FYI, I love The Warriors," because he was in the movie The Warriors that came out a few years before this, a gritty gang New York City movie. You ever see The Warriors?
Get a rope.
Yeah, that's the one. Gene had played the role of bartender in this, so I think he was the guy where he went in the bar and he lifted that guy's head up off the thing. He says, "You know a guy named Manny?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And there was the guy, and the guy ran out the door. So I think he was in it for maybe 5 Mississippi. Sure. But I said, "Hey, FYI, I love The Warriors." He says, "Sorry, I don't have anything that stands out. Thanks for asking and reviving the past." I said, "Hey, thanks for responding. Take care and continued success to you." That's all it was.
Oh.
But it was funny because I look at Gene, I look through Gene's Twitter, and it's a lot of negative stuff about Black Lives Matter.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a lot of it's not real. It hurts. It hurts the cause. It's just very
wow.
These are the tweets of a man who doesn't want to work again.
Right, for sure.
And he may not. I mean, he looks like he's a pretty old guy. But I mean, whatever his views are on Black Lives Matter, I would say thank you for getting back to us.
Sure.
I appreciate it.
We're not going to put you on the Hall of Fame.
You may be on we do have a Hall of Shame.
Yeah,
we
that's
rarely
true.
talk about, but you might go on there. But anyway, let's go ahead and put 10 minutes on the clock, and we will break down the pilot episode of Condor. And we'll start with Blake right now.
Condor. It's Jesus, goddamn Christ.
This is it's almost just under 80 minutes of a pilot.
So I'm trying to figure out where to start, but we got Chris Porter and
Proctor.
Yes, Proctor, right, and Gamble, and he works for Condor. It's like a FBI kind of thing.
Peacekeeping organization.
This is set in the year 1999 in L.A.
Yeah.
And they have self-driving cars.
Yeah, well, I would assume I didn't know that, but there's a scene where Proctor is heavily invested in the console and operating the console. I was like, this is very distracted driving.
Right. He's actually he is. But before that, I guess it's a very futuristic prison that they're in, and
everyone's wearing white.
There is, and I wrote this, a very white danger laser barriers. Mm-hmm. It's just like on Star Trek. Well, it's actually more high tech than Star Trek.
Well, there's a man walking up and down the hall.
You take it from here. I'll be right back.
All right, that'll be fine. So in this, the prison's all white, and then the prisoners are wearing all white, and the guard is wearing all white. And one of the prisoners, who's a lady, so I guess there's men and women in here. I don't know. The lady says, "Hey, a guard, come here," and then she holds out this meter. It's the PKE meter from Ghostbusters, but she's holding it out. I don't know how she got a hold of that. I don't want to know how she smuggled it in. But she takes control of the guard, which turns out to be a robot. There's a lot of robots in this. Anyway, she takes control of the robot guard, and then she is taken to the. Actually, hold on, my brother's calling. Let's get him on the phone. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Thank you. Meeting got canceled altogether. Just so you know.
That's fine. I'm in the middle of recording right now.
Oh shit. Okay. Bye.
Oh wait, I'll see it. The meeting. I'm working with him on his video game convention this year. Anyway, the soundtrack is very synthy, I should say too. If you like '80s like new wave kind of dark synth music, you'll like the soundtrack to this. Anyway, she activates the guard. She says, "Hey, release me from this prison." And the guard does, and the guard goes through a laser doorway that only robots can go through. He lets her in, and she like destroys a generator or something. I don't know. She's spraying like hairspray on it. I don't know what the hell she's doing. Anyway, she escapes. She gets on a jetpack and flies away. It's incredible, and that's when it says Los Angeles, 1999. Anyway, this is the first shot we see of Ray Wise as Chris Proctor. And he's speaking into a device. It looks like a version of their cell phones, but I think it's just a recording device.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like just a recording device.
Oh my gosh, what a surprise. Hey, come in here, buddy. Boy, Matt's joining us. I can only assume this has something to do with my birthday.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right? He's got a plate full of cookies with my name on it, I think. Do I have to sit and eat all these right away?
It's your...
Get him on.
Every single one of them.
Let's get him on here right away.
Every single one you have to eat. Yeah, so he's on. He's hot, so they would say.
Hey, what's up, man?
Is this thing live?
Gentlemen,
we're
I
doing it live.
like to think that there's no communication unless I'm involved with it. But you guys obviously communicated to work this out.
Well, not Jason, but Matt communicated with me.
He texted me and asked me for oatmeal cookies, and I said, "Well, I can kill two birds here."
I was thinking recently, I was like, Matt hasn't been on for a while since before. I think we called you on the phone, but we haven't had you on before. You guys had done Hoop Jeans rather. And I was like, we should have him on, but Blake doesn't want any guests this season.
Oh,
so I was thinking, we'll get him on next season. We'll get him on next season, but he's making an exception for you.
Well, because I'm burying the lead here. I'm really here because somebody's birthday is right around the corner. So
it's tomorrow. Yeah,
I had to show up
tomorrow.
And I didn't know if I could say tomorrow and throw off like the
no one gives a shit.
I had but I also needed to. I've told you guys before. I travel a lot for work, so I needed to catch a red eye. So this is really three birds.
You're catching a red eye tonight?
Yeah.
Where are you heading?
I didn't.
Guatemala.
I brought my mask. Are we requiring a mask since the last time I was on the?
Oh,
on
a
the
red
plane?
eye here.
Yeah.
Not in real life.
He's got red eyes.
Like, I've got red eyes.
He's an albino.
Why is Caterpillar making you fly already?
Well,
I mean, not Caterpillar. I mean, Komatsu.
All right, let me get those cookies right away,
absolutely.
please. Just one.
But honestly, if I could hijack this just for a minute, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just to say that it's maybe you guys have already talked about it. It's this guy's birthday.
Yes. No, we didn't talk about it because I was waiting for you to show up.
Ah, my man. Okay.
It was October 27th. And I'm going to tell you a really quick story.
Then I got one. Go ahead.
I have lost a week of my life, and I don't know where it went. And because I was recently... No.
It wasn't beer?
It was not beer. It was not the helping can.
That's what we call them now, the helping can.
Yeah, don't call it beer anymore.
Helped you through?
It buries your emotions.
These are wonderful cookies.
Are they? Good.
So I was doing... I do the checkbook a certain way, you know, and I haven't been doing it as often as I usually do. I usually obsess about it, but I've been really kind of putting it to the side. But I have a calendar, like a big, huge calendar that I keep track of bills when they're due, blah, 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 and I pay them. And Saturday, I was like, I got some time. I'm by myself. This is Saturday the 24th, right? I go, well, it's the 17th. I mark off the 17th, and I went through the whole day and the whole night and the whole next day thinking that I was literally a week behind. And I almost, last night, which was Sunday night, I almost did a text chain of people, not him, with him, you know, in it,
Right.
saying, hey, what do you guys want to do in a couple weeks, a week from now for Jason's birthday? And then I went to work today and I looked at my calendar and I was like, oh, fuck, it's tomorrow. I lost a week of my life. I lost a week of my life. How does that happen?
Look, man, there's days I don't remember what I had for breakfast. My gift to this world is not my memory. So you're talking.
It's the looks. It's the looks.
It's quite a big
And the hair.
quite a big difference between forgetting what you had for breakfast and losing a whole week. I think.
To me, it's all the same.
All right.
Yeah, to me, it's all the same. But no, I texted Blake and asked if I could crash this. Just tell this guy happy birthday.
Well, that's
and
awesome.
foremost, in person.
What's he doing?
Blake's stepping out here, but this is still a live mic. But
This is a great surprise.
Well, it really is my pleasure. But for when this is recorded and for whoever is listening to this, Jay, you know how much I love you, brother.
Oh,
and
that's
honestly,
come on. You gonna make me cry on my show?
For those who haven't had the pleasure of being his friend for almost 20 years, I just saw a picture on a separate text chain that I know probably won't make it to your viewers, but how the time has gone by. Did you see that one that came through on
The one where John Bassett is in it and, and Javen's wearing that fur coat?
I sent that one to my wife, and she really didn't know how to process Javen's
curly hair and his
everything.
Sarah McLachlan t-shirt.
Yeah. But I'm burying the lead here. Jay is seriously the most thoughtful and insightful friend you could ever ask for. And I know he's going to hate me for saying this, but it really, really is just the world's greatest pleasure to be his friend and who he is as a person, as a parent, as a friend, you name it. So...
Wow, that's something
thank
else.
you, man.
Biggest fan.
I appreciate that,
and I'm laying
man.
it on thick.
It makes me
and
feel
I mean every,
makes me feel honored that you think of me that way.
Yeah, I'm looking at Blake's direction just so that he can hang with
bit.
us. But Jay, happy birthday!
Well, thank
brother.
you very much. Are you gonna hang out for a little bit or not?
Absolutely, I'm here for the next show.
Do you know? Did you watch next show?
I'm here for Awesome Sauce.
Did you? Okay, great. That's awesome. Did you?
It's all about apples.
Did Heather make these cookies?
She did.
Oh, God
she made
bless
it
her.
for your birthday, bro.
I'm gonna text her later and thank her. That's they're this. I love them. It's chocolate chips and oatmeal and is that it or is there?
Like 2 baker's dozens. I could text her, but
that's all right.
She said oatmeal chocolate chip was she knew that. She said Jason's cookies oatmeal chocolate chicken.
Yeah, she's right.
Heck yeah.
You think my girlfriend made me chocolate chip cookies for my birthday?
Should I text her?
No, I was telling we went to St. Louis and saw a ghost.
I actually did text her about his birthday,
Did
and
you?
she's like, "Don't fucking care." And I was like, "Whoa, okay."
Who, my girlfriend?
Yeah. I was like, "Hey, what are we doing for Jason's birthday?" And she's like, "I don't fucking care."
Well, we went down to St. Louis, and I was telling you a little bit about it earlier, but something I didn't mention that Matt, I'm sure, would appreciate is we went to a Peruvian restaurant. Mm-hmm. It was good.
Do you remember what it was called?
Mango.
Been there.
Oh, have you?
Not last September.
Okay.
We went down. It sits on a corner. It's downtown-ish.
It's part of. I think it's part of like a hotel.
Yes.
Because I went to the bathroom. You had to like leave the restaurant to go to the bathroom.
I don't remember what I ordered, but I remember I liked the whole thing. I take that back. I did order a side of plantains because I will not pass up plantains on any
like
menu.
a dessert plantain. Mm-hmm. Well, they give you plantain chips when you first get there. Yep. Oh, that green sauce. Ooh, buddy.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was good.
Plenty of that.
That was good. So that's the plot for Condor.
Yeah, that's the pilot.
You know what? You want to skip it?
Crush it. Yeah.
I watched it for 80 minutes and we're
So did
skipping
I.
it.
So did I. So did I. This is a special day. It's not about Condor. It's about you.
That's right.
There's I just say there's robots.
There's robots. There's a lot of lasers. There is one thing. At one point during this, it's your typical. It's here. I'll put it in a nutshell. it's your typical 80s version of the future. Everything is exactly the way it always is. There's one guy that's against technology, which is Proctor, and there's lasers. But the one thing that really bothers me the most is at one point they specifically say, "Hey, I've got this contact. I'm a cop. I got people that criminals that I talk to," and they bring up the fact that he's a dwarf.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he's in the next scene. And all you see is his head. You can't even tell that he's a dwarf.
You can't tell me there's a dwarf and not show me that he's a dwarf.
Yeah. Why are you pointing out that he's a dwarf if all you see is his head?
Maybe he's in his contract.
Well, but you know what? Nowadays, it's 2 PC. You can't do that.
The contract says it must be mentioned that he's a dwarf, but not shown that he is.
They can't show it, yeah.
I mean, you can tell because dwarf heads are really different. But all you see is his bottom lip up.
Yeah, you see his head while he's laying on the ground dying. Quaid, I believe, was his name.
Oh, hashtag dead.
Kang situation.
Man,
dead dwarf.
There's so much we were supposed to talk about.
Who's Seth? Who's Seth?
I don't know.
Oh, they talk about Seth all the time, like the Black Widow. She's like, "We're doing this for Seth," and I'm like, for like an hour, I'm like, "Who's Seth?" It was her brother that Porter killed.
Okay,
Proctor killed.
That was the question I had. Was the Rachel Hawkins, the Black Widow?
Mm-hmm.
Why is she doing any of this? Is it? But it's not just revenge.
It's not just revenge. That's just her added.
Yeah, she says she wants Proctor as part. She's like holding the city for ransom.
Yeah.
To do what? She wants what? Just money and revenge? Is that what it is?
Yeah. And I will say that at the end of toward the end of this show, basically for 55 minutes, you're watching a really slow, dragged out, unnecessary, and then the last 12 minutes is like the chase. Mm-hmm. But I am 99% sure I will bet anybody a steak dinner right now that the car chase at the end of this show was the same place where they filmed the car chase in Greece.
It's the L.A. River. Yeah, they do. There's a lot of shooting down there. Terminator 2. You know when?
Never saw it.
Well, he at one point Arnold Schwarzenegger he drives with the boy, I think, on his motorcycle, and then that semi drives over the overpass and lands in that ravine. That's the L.A. River. The L.A. River is very prominent in films, and this is no exception.
Well, I thought I was really cool by knowing that.
No, but you're right. You're right. You're totally right.
It's very obvious. Like you see it, and you're like, oh, this was in Greece when they were having the hot rod,
the drag race with Grease Lightning. Yeah.
Okay.
We were talking about having sex with robots a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
It comes up a lot. But
more than you would think.
But like, remember how we're talking about like sex dolls as we know it?
Sure.
For me, I was kind of like, I don't think it would be like, it doesn't. It's kind of like 3D glasses, right? Like 3D still isn't there yet.
Right. And I said I would do it.
Yeah, you say like before I finished the sentence, you said you would do it. But this is a case.
I actually had to wait for you to stop saying that sentence before I said I'd do it.
Wouldn't one of the creepiest things though to go to maybe one of those factories where these are being made?
I don't want to see. I don't want to see how it's made.
Do you want to be on like the HR side of of hiring someone, talking to them about their background?
Do you plan on fucking any of the robots we make? No, I don't.
So you worked at Arby's.
Oh, jeez.
That's
unintentionally perhaps very gross.
Yeah.
I was just looking for something to attach.
Nope.
Nope,
you got it.
Roast beef.
Roast beef. You said it.
Roast beef.
We had a guy that came in today to for an interview, and his current job is he is an Uber Eats driver, and my boss has his office is right next to mine, but I can hear what goes on.
Yeah.
And my boss is from the country, a country bumpkin guy. He's a really nice guy, but he doesn't, he goes, I'm from the country. Explain to me, if I order wings from Buffalo Wild Wings, how are you involved in it? And so he made the kid explain
what exactly Uber Eats is.
Uber Eats is and how he is linked into.
Did he send the wings back? He didn't like it.
No, he didn't know.
Yeah.
He didn't know what Uber Eats was, so he didn't
he
didn't understand how that third party got involved. Anyway, I digress.
I was going to say that the female lead in this is a human being, but a robot. And I was saying this is the future that you want of sex robots.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, she was a good-looking lady, but like it looked like a person too, and not like a weird silicone thing with a couple of holes drilled
But you got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere, right?
I just don't want to talk back to me. Like, I don't care if it looks silicone or looks real. I just don't want to talk back.
It's like when the dog owner cuts the dog's vocal cord so it can't bark anymore.
Oh,
right?
that's horrible.
You just have to open up her motherboard and pull a couple chips out so she can't speak.
Yeah. Don't speak because you're a robot and I just want to have sex with you. Sorry, Matt. God damn it.
You're
I'm kind of
making it
thrown
worse.
off. I didn't know he was coming till
he's
today.
spiraling.
So I didn't know it till today, so I didn't really have time to prepare for my appropriateness.
Please remain seated as we are now
You need
crossing
a,
the
yeah,
zone of
you got to sleep before that.
At this point, Matt's like, yeah, this guy's a fuck. Whatever he says. he's gonna say.
Behind
He
closed
still-
doors, that's exactly what he says
He
to me.
still
about
likes me, kind of.
It's the only time I use the F word.
But have you ever noticed that, like, he can only, like, hang out with me, like, once every 2 months? Like, because then, like, his Christian meter goes down, like, when he's with me. You know what I mean?
he runs out of rosary.
I want you to know that Blake
He has to repent for, like, 3 weeks after that.
This entire narrative is all coming from Blake's end of things. I might add.
When isn't it? Right?
That's fair.
This whole show is for him. You do it for him. So this didn't work. It was obviously a made-for-TV movie, 83 minutes and some change long. But the intro, we didn't really get into it, but there is a full-fledged like action montage. Here are the credits. Here are the people in the show. It's built. It's presented to you like a TV show up
Right.
front.
Yeah.
And there's even narration where he's setting up some exposition for the show. So obviously it was meant to be a backdoor pilot, but why didn't it work?
There's a couple things. Jason, would you like to start since it's your birthday? Why you don't think it worked? I hate when people fucking eat on the show. I really hate it.
You're the number one offender.
No, I'm not.
You eat McChicken sandwiches and grilled cheese on the show all the time.
All right, well, do you want me to... God damn it. Dang it. That's really bad, sorry.
Hurry up.
This is very drawn out. Like there's a whole lot of pointless scenes over and over to get to the 12 minutes at the end where they capture the Black Widow. And we've seen this. We've watched a lot of made-for-TV movies that are supposed to be going to, or they want to go to series, and it's just very long, very drawn out, and there's a lot of times we complain about like a pilot that like we didn't know enough about the characters or whatever, but this is just like I'm going to tell you every single little detail. I don't need to know that Proctor has a cat, and he has a special bond with the cat.
It was only like a minute long.
But when I'm watching this, it seems like 10 minutes long that he's
Right.
petting this cat.
Okay.
And it's just another cheesy 80s sci-fi movie that it's just the same thing. Like I said earlier, the main character is very against technology, and there's technology all around him.
It's fairly misogynistic too, right?
Yeah.
Like while the robot who needs to sleep apparently to recharge, I guess.
Yeah.
He was like stroking her
Well, she
hair.
got cut or shot or something, and she just needed to sleep it off in one of his button-up shirts and nothing else.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very sexualizing.
She should be
the
plugged
robot.
in or something.
I agree.
And he when she does wake to wake her up, he goes over it, knows she's a robot.
Yeah.
And kind of like puts his fingers across her hair to get him out of her face, which they weren't already.
He just wanted to touch her.
He wanted to touch that.
And at the end, they almost kiss.
Well, you know they're going to. If this goes to series, they're going to be in a relationship.
Eventually, he's going to have sex with a robot on the show.
High five that shit.
Okay, that's fine. That's enough. That's enough of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
IMDb.com, Internet Movie Database. What do you think people from around the world rated the Condor?
I watched this. I never look at IMDb. It's one of the. I very rarely look at IMDb.
I feel like you look at it every week.
Not really. Because if I would have looked at IMDb, I would have known this was 1980. Oh, 5. Oh, I have one set of notes that says 85 and one says 86, so I was wrong.
I was going 85 at the top of the show.
Yeah, and I
changed
was
for you.
wrong.
All the stuff like to get us in the mind frame of that year was all from 85.
Oh, I would have said the Bears won the Super Bowl.
Even though we
I
presented
would have
this.
said the Bears won the. Right, that should have been what happened during 1985. You should have said
But I had to
the Bears
change
won
it.
the Super
But I
Bowl.
had to change it.
Oh, you just did all that changing right in front of me. I'm gonna get a 4.9.
Which is
Probably.
a 4.9 from 130 reviews. Critic reviews.
That's a lot of reviews for this show.
Yeah, it is. Critic reviews, Garrett Neal and Sean Neal, unrelated, from somethingawful.com say the case for Condor includes lots of obvious fade to black for commercial moments from its previous failed life as a TV pilot, so you could splice in some beer commercials, and then there'd be something worth watching. The case against Condor completely negates the last 50 years of feminist progress in the first 12 minutes. Extreme smarm of the protagonist will probably make you punch a hole in your television. Inane technobabble will overwrite any of its facts if you haven't already forgotten from high school science class. Viewer reviews, 10 out of 10 scars.
Whoa.
I think scars is a phrase that originated on Matt's first appearance on the show over 4 years ago.
That very well could be.
That was the Mud Golem.
That was the world. Yes, the world beyond.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep.
Oh, that was with the sludgy mud monster.
The transom.
I was just going to say transom, the part of the boat.
the mud golem's foreskin.
Yeah, I remember.
Who did you say the Mud Golem looked like? Was it Danny McBride?
I might if that sounds right.
That's very close for being 4 years ago. Good job.
How about that?
Let's see. Britt Canuck from January 29th, 2005 says high-tech fun in a retro cop show setting. Not long ago, I saw a U.S. television special about pilot episodes which didn't make it to series. I was pleasantly surprised to see the ABC TV movie Condor mentioned. I first saw it on air in England about 17 years ago, where it has since enjoyed a DVD release. Ray Wise is a detective in a futuristic Los Angeles with Wendy Kilborn as his beautiful sidekick, who is, in fact, an android. They are part of a crime-fighting organization called Condor, and on this case, they find themselves up against a female criminal mastermind
Called the Black Widow. I wonder if they, at this time there was no copyright, because I'm assuming...
Pre-Black Widow Marvel?
Yeah, I was going to say,
maybe.
Black Widow should have been, copyrighted by
That's
now.
got to be up in the air because there's this Asian lady who's a
Nice.
well, first of all, that's nice. But there's an Asian lady who's not a bowler, a pool player. And I know we've talked about it before because you worked. I think you were working at the casino, the
And
Paradise
they call her
Casino,
the Black Widow, too.
and she is called the Black Widow.
I thought you were going to talk about the Asian girl in the spandex in this pilot.
Sumi.
Sumi.
Yeah. I was.
Sue me for what I thought in my head.
High five it. Tush. With its drone helicopters, an android character appears as human, futuristic technology, blah, 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 blah. Would love to see this one again. They liked it.
Okay.
Let's see. There's a couple more, but I think we're way past time. Let's just keep moving. Why do I do all the work for this show?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
We just throw it in the
to
trash.
Airport. Local time
It's all
is
wasted. It's a waste.
It was a special thing for your birthday.
I mean in general. In general.
It only happened today.
Turn off.
Assholes.
Why'd you call him an asshole?
First time a 12-year-old's called me an asshole.
Call him that.
Are you 12?
No.
13?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Why did you call him an asshole?
I see it's your birthday, right?
Tomorrow's my birthday. Come here.
You're
Come
going
here.
to scold him.
Come here.
I think he's gonna strip down to this underwear.
Did you ever see that picture I made of you?
What?
Okay, so you remember when you
Met Dustin for the
Dustin
first
and
time.
you're in your underwear and that's when you'd be a very sweet young man. You'd hug everyone good night, right? There's no shame in that. There's a time recently when you came down here when Dustin was here and you hugged him. Do you remember that when you hugged him when he was sitting right there?
Yeah.
I took a picture of that and then I colored you to where it looked like you were just in your underwear hugging him again as a girl, as an adolescent. Now I can't show anyone that for fear of going to jail, but I would happily I would show you that if you wanted to see it.
Why did you come down here?
Wish him a happy birthday.
See, there he is.
Say it. Oh, you gonna give me a hug?
Yeah.
Someone take a picture and turn him into underwear.
Here, no,
Oh no!
Hold on.
You gonna do it? Are you
Yeah,
really doing
I'm
it?
Take a picture.
You gonna send it to me to change into underwear?
Take a picture. Like a hug. It's like a hug. Okay, I'll send that to you later on so you can put him in a...
So he can edit it.
Put him, yeah.
It'll take me an hour and a half to get the shading right.
Pictures of him and little boys. It's
The
fine.
shading is, yeah.
Shading above the lip. That's
So
a
I just
Napoleon
wanna make-
Dynamite
I
reference.
want to make sure,
Yeah.
Jason, that Eli came down because you have seen him from a little boy in his tidy whities to becoming a young man.
Not a girl, not yet a
You guys
woman.
had a
Yeah.
rematch.
Oh, shoot. I think it's at the next one's at a bowling alley for sure.
Oh, the hoop
yeah,
teams?
for sure.
We'll
and
talk
it's
about
gonna
that.
be a beatdown.
We'll talk about that
gonna
next
be a
episode.
beatdown.
Eli, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You guys have fun with your show.
You bet, man.
Thanks,
Good to see
buddy,
you.
for your...
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, you too.
Good night.
All
Good
right.
night.
Good night. Sleep,
brother.
sweet.
I still don't understand why he called you an asshole as soon as you... He's
We
like,
heard you
hey,
call
asshole!
it. He heard you call him that.
But he's
And then
not
he
supposed
came
to
right-
use that language. I've never
don't
said,
tell
hey,
Mom. Yeah.
you feel free to use the word asshole.
Yeah, don't tell mom.
You are setting a precedent.
He's an opportunist is what it is.
He drafted right off.
Yeah, he knows he's not supposed to swear, but if he can do it right after you do it and in a joking manner,
And down here...
It'll fly.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no house rules inside this room.
oh, believe me, I know. And then, but he also probably gets a little rush of adrenaline for saying a bad word, like in front of adults, and to call an adult an asshole.
right.
My God, I'd be
On
terrified.
a hot mic, nonetheless.
Yeah, I would never call one of my dad's friends an asshole. I'd be scared out of my mind. Well, they're all maniacs too, but whew, mercy. All right, let's grade this and be done with this episode.
Ding dong.
Ding dong, indeed. Let's rate the show based on the television program from the 1990s, affectionately and accurately known as Wings. We take a look at all the characters. We give them a number from 1 to 7, 1 being the worst score you can get, and that's a character on Wings known as Roy Biggins. And number 7, that's the best score you're going to get, and that's Brian Hackett. Captain Philip, rest assured, I turn towards you. How do you rate Condor?
But this is your birthday. I turn back toward you. I'll let you have the initial grade. How do you score Condor from 1985?
If Matt surprising us every week meant we didn't have to go through the plot, I would do it every week. Okay,
There it is.
but what I will say is that since we didn't get a chance to talk about the plot, I didn't hate this. There was a lot of fun, futuristic chances they took with this. The noir element of the monorail going through the city, the big clunky, almost like steampunk keyboard in the car where he's inserting his credit card. Just the neon shots of alleyways and stuff. There was a lot of things visually I liked and the chances they took. Ray Wise, I got to steal a phrase from Eli, seemed like a little bit of an asshole. But I did kind of like his character. Like, Ray Wise has been acting for 40, 50 years, and he's still acting today.
Why did he have boots on with a suit? Boots on that weren't tied in a suit.
That was the fashion in
and his suit was very
1999.
wrinkly.
Here's
It was
one.
very Miami Vice, but like I've been in a car for 6 hours.
It's so Miami Vice. This is the note that I took, is that the coat that he was wearing, the sleeves were
Yep.
rolled up almost to his armpits.
Yeah.
And I think they would roll up the blazer jackets.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
in Miami Vice,
Yeah.
right? So that totally, I like that. He was, I didn't mind him. 83 minutes. I checked the time a couple times. I didn't hate it. I kind of enjoyed this. I liked him. I think there's better things they could have done down the line, more interesting villains. Obviously, the Black Widow didn't die falling off the cliff. You know, she survived somehow. She had to.
She didn't fall. Her car went over a
She
cliff.
drove, but she went to the water. She
Right.
had,
Oh, yeah.
Until you see her corpse floating there,
Whenever
she's alive. She'll be back.
whenever you see water, go ahead and drive. It's like landing on a cloud.
It's a free pass, right? I'm gonna give it a 5. I enjoyed
Wow.
it. There was some cool stuff here. I really liked it. I think for the time it would have been awesome. I don't know, a futuristic show in the mid '80s with all the dark kind of synth music they had. There are some things to like here. I'm gonna give it a 5. I know your rating is gonna be much lower.
All right. First of all, it's unprecedented. I've never done this before on the show. In 4 years of doing this show, I've never done this before.
Almost 5 years.
I'm going to give this a jetpack bump because the jetpack that she escapes from prison seems to somehow go to a box that has a jetpack ready to go because the prison has those on the outside just in case one of their guards needs to. She got on a jetpack.
That's
Yeah.
a legit bump. Jetpack bumps.
a good
are
bump.
I have a minus bump, which never happens as well.
for being 90 minutes.
No. This whole dwarf thing really bugged the crap out of me. Why did you go, hey, I've got this contact. he's a dwarf. Let's go see him. And all you see is his bottom lip up to his forehead. I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay.
What was he getting? He was buried in the sand?
No. He was in his apartment. He was in his apartment. He was laying sideways because he had been shot. They're talking to him. He's raising his little dwarf head up, and then he dies.
There's just like, I don't even know if it was an apartment. It was like...
It was. Yeah, they were going through an apartment building. That's where that guy lived.
Okay, it didn't look like that, but it looked like almost like a factory or like an abandoned space because there's so much crap on the ground. Like Blake said, you couldn't see his body; you could just see his head. So it was a valid point. With your 3, with my 5, we close the book on Condor, and we will never mention that show again.
Ever.
But join us next time, won't you please, when we watch the pilot episode of AWESOMETOWN. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. A sketch comedy pilot created by the dudes of the Lonely Island. They're known as the dudes.
Okay.
You can find the entire episode of AWESOMETOWN by subscribing to Couch Pilots on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube, Matt.
And you'll know what to do, Tubes.
Very nice.
That's right.
You know what? Just a little spoiler, guys. Matt's going to be on the next episode.
Hey.
Right. Amen to that. We'll have, I think at the end of the season, we'll have 3 out of 10 episodes with guests.
Scars.
That's a low. That's low for us.
Well, I think you had said no. See, I didn't know that.
Oh, no.
No guests.
No, I said no guests like 6 months ago. And I was like, he promised me, he's like, season 26, I'll give it to you. I got things in the works. I'll give you. I was like, cool.
Well, I remember when I had to mediate your guys'. That was last year, wasn't it?
Oh, when we did, we went our separate ways for a few episodes.
Yeah.
You had an episode
We should
with
probably
Lucas.
go back to that, going our separate ways.
Well, Blake wanted less guests. Jason wanted you to take care. Well,
to shut up.
Well,
I wanted more guests.
More guests, but also you to take care of some physical ailments, which I don't know if those ever. got resolved.
You're
I'm
supposed to be
doing so many. I'm doing so many push-ups. It's insane.
Let's see your biceps.
So buff right now.
Look.
Helping can.
It showed up in that basketball match. He was downhill the whole time.
Hey, no.
Let's dissect that.
It was
next
cardio.
episode.
It was cardio, not muscles. It was cardio that was the problem, not muscles. Please hand me one of those.
Which one do you want?
No, not that one. That's too fancy. Give me,
Do you want the?
oh, give me the one he thinks is tainted.
Well, it may be right.
fine.
Give
Just-
it to him. He's supposed to
like-
test it.
All right.
If you don't want that, I have another one of these for you.
I don't give a damn.
If you want to contact the show, go to couchpilotspodcast.com. All of our episodes are there. All of our links to our email, our social media accounts. Like us, follow us there. Call us at 910-PILOTS-1, 910-745-6871. Leave us a message. We're going to play it on the show, and you're going to get frequent flyer points if you do it. And then go to Patreon if you want to give us some money. We have people out there in the world who give us money.
Yeah, we appreciate
It's
all those
crazy,
people.
but they do it.
Yeah.
And we do appreciate it very much. At the end of the show, this season, you said it's kind of going to be a grab bag of something you want to talk about at the end. And
Speaking of grab bag, unbeknownst to me,
right,
I got a card in the mail the other day, and it says, "Good day from Australia." It's got a picture of a kangaroo crossing. We see a lot of deer crossings signs here,
Sure.
but this one has a kangaroo.
we should do a swap with someone in Australia.
they can have our deer. We'll take their king.
steal
we should
one of the
steal
signs.
what? Yeah,
They'll steal. We'll swap.
I like that.
Sure.
I open it up and it says, in very good penmanship, may I say, "Merry Christmas, Blake and Molly. Got you matching bowling bags. You have to massage and squeeze them to increase their size. Love you. Love you heaps." I think is what it's heaps.
Yeah.
Dee Dee and Barb. XO. They're not from England, but they still put XOs.
Yes, on that Chris Tuckley, the Tuckley 10-2 season, anytime I reach out to someone from the UK, they respond with X's and O's.
Right.
Which is it's common here, but it seems like it's very common over there.
Yeah. So what I have here are two
Satchels?
coin purses.
How about that?
And they have kangaroos on them. And listen to this, guys. Genuine kangaroo scrotums.
What?
Genuine kangaroo scrotums. So
I was going to joke that's what that was.
No.
It is
No.
that.
yeah.
Throw one over here. I want to touch that nutsack.
So and just like any coin purse or any leather, you need to kind of knead it and kind of stretch it out a little bit to make it bigger. And Molly quickly I do have 2 of them right now because they brought us 2, but it's so smooth. There's no way it's not. But anyway,
Someone ironed
I
out
don't
all
know
the
how I
wrinkles.
feel about this.
From my experience, and I have limited experience, scrotums are wrinkly. Someone took the time to iron out this scrotum because it's very smooth.
Right.
Indeed.
And Molly was very excited, and she's like, "Now I've got something to carry."
Put her Susan B. Anthony's.
No, thanks for stepping on my bit, but Kevin, my wife says, "Great. Now I've got something to carry your balls in." It would have been better, but Matt, in all his loving. So, no, these are awesome. Thank you to Dee Dee for the Christmas gift, and
That's awesome.
it's awesome. No, but I am going to start putting coins in mine because it's going to stretch it out, obviously, because I put the weight and everything.
Right.
And I'll kind of like jiggle it every once in a while.
You have to put some, what's that oil you put on a glove to break it in? Castile oil.
Castor oil.
Castor oil.
Castor
Yeah.
oil.
Yeah, really rub that and just stretch
Brought
it
to you
out.
by Richard Petty.
That's right. Ooh, I love castor oil.
No, but thank you very much, Dee Dee, and thank you very much, Barb. I think I mentioned this earlier. Recently, I had a very long conversation, like a FaceTime chat with
Yes.
Dee Dee, and it was amazing. And we do it every year, but we're going to do it. We do it for Christmas, usually when we do it. So we're going to have a beer together on Christmas during FaceTime. I'm halfway across the world. Somebody enjoys listening to us every Monday.
Darn straight.
Sunday for them, but they enjoy listening to us halfway across the world, and that still is amazing to me. It still means a lot to me, and me and Dee Dee have grown into very close friends. She sent you a birthday message.
I was going to mention that, yes. Thank you very much, Dee Dee. Do you think she'll ever want to, just do the show with you instead of me?
Huh?
Do you think Dee Dee will ever want to do Couch Pilots with you instead of me?
I would hope so.
Let me know how that works out. I'm interested to find out.
Okay.
I got a lot of other projects that I'm on the back burner.
Oh, I bet you do.
Until this thing dies.
A lot of successful quote-unquote projects.
I mean, they haven't started yet, so I can't deem them a success yet. But
Oh, everything you touch is gold, Mr. Birthday Boy.
I've
He's getting surly over
I
here.
have mixed feelings about. All right, this pilot may have been rough. But it's
Thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.